My eyes are closed. What's going on, everybody? It's the Fight Gods podcast. I'm joined by Nico. Justin will be checking in with us in a little while. We're here to talk about last night's fight night, Rozenstruik versus Gane. Nico, what's going on today?
How you doing, Will, man? It's good to be here. Shouts to everybody tuning in. Let's get to it.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Justin had a little party he had to attend. He apologizes for being a little bit late, but that's all right, man. He'll be here as soon as he can. I just wanted to clear that up in case anybody was wondering. Yeah, we had a good night of fights last night. Not quite as exciting of a night of fights, but there was some good fights on the card. And we'll go ahead and get into that right here in a minute. Anything else going on with you right now, or just these fights?
No, man, just these fights, really. You know, babes in bed and just unwinding, chilling for the night. Should be tuning into some Walking Dead later. You know,
that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Hey, I know we were watching the UFC last night. Did you end up getting to watch the Canelo fight?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't even know Canelo was fighting, honestly.
I didn't get to watch it either, just because, you know, I was deep into the UFC event, so I never got a chance. But
who was he fighting?
Let me pull that up, man. He was fighting a guy who hadn't fought in almost 3 years. Just to, you know, tell you what kind of a fight he had. I mean, the dude was good, but I just saw some highlights. He won. He won by stoppage. Let's see. Let's see. It was on DAZN. He beat. Let's see. Avni Yildirim.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But after the fight, This is why I was bringing it up after the fight. During his post-fight interview, two guys jumped in the ring wearing Jake Paul versus Ben Askren shirts.
Oh no, man! This
And
guy,
apparently, yeah, he turned around and told them to get the fuck out, and they left. So
Canelo did.
yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Ooh,
He didn't
no,
need
they don't
security,
want
man.
that smoke. Yeah, no, they don't
Nah,
want that smoke.
I don't think anybody does right about now, man. But
Hell no.
you know,
That's a different animal right there.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, we'll have to check out that fight over the next day or two when I get a chance. Oh, look at that, man. Paul O'Day, he's here already. What's up, Paul? Thanks for joining us, man. So yeah, let's get started. I figure we could start with the first fight of the night from the main card. Was there anything on the undercard you wanted to talk about, first of all? Besides Alexis Davis messing up everybody's parlays, messed up my DraftKings, everything.
Definitely, bro. That was some wild shit, huh?
Yeah, nobody saw her beating Sabina Mazo, but you know she shut her out, man. I mean, she beat her down.
No, absolutely. She
wasn't
did her
even
thing.
close.
I'm not gonna stun on her. You know, I was talking shit about her, saying she's suspect, but hey, you know, she showed up that night.
Yeah, hey, she looked pretty good.
So I thought Thiago Moises looked good too, man. Honestly, I thought he did his thing out there. I had Alexander winning that fight,
and Moises shut him down.
Moises shut him down, man. He really did. He looked great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't see the. I didn't see the first two fights of the night
too. If we're gonna
Ronnie Lawrence,
Lawrence looked fucking phenomenal, man. He looks like he's gonna be the real deal. And he was hard on himself after the performance that he put on too. He said that he didn't think it was a good performance and he could have did better with his stand up, which I thought he did his thing, man.
Hey, you gotta admire that though. That's all right. Hey.
Total strikes 102 out of 151 thrown.
That's pretty awesome, man.
And you think you can do better?
It doesn't get much better than that, man.
Come on, man.
For real. Yep.
He went 8 for 9 on takedowns.
That's insane. That's actually the only two fights that I didn't get a chance to watch last night were Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Grishin and Vince Cachero versus Ronnie Lawrence. I saw the rest of the fights.
Yeah, give Ronnie Lawrence a look over. He looked good, man.
Hey, I'll definitely check him out. You know I will. So like we said, Alexis Davis shut down Sabina Mazo. Kind of ended a little bit of a hype train there. She was a pretty big underdog for the event. I think she was. I don't know if she wasn't maybe like the second or third biggest underdog on the card. I know that Angela Hill was the biggest favorite on the card, but she their fight ended up getting canceled the night before. So luckily I waited on my DraftKings this time and I didn't draft anybody from that fight, or that could have messed me up like last time. Bro, the last event, what was it? What was the fight night before that? No, what was the last pay-per-view? Oh, the pay-per-view with Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns. I did my DraftKings like 4 days in advance.
Yeah.
I had 2 of my 6 didn't even fight.
Damn,
I was like, man, I'm getting jobbed out over here. I got killed in my DraftKings, man.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, that was, man. But you know, so I waited this time. But Alexa Davis kind of messed me up. And I had Hernandez on there and he lost. So and I took Rozenstruik, so I was at 500%. I went 3 for 3 and 3.
Come on, man. I mean, sometimes you gotta eat crow, buddy. This wasn't a good night of picks.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't, man. Rocking the new shirt today. Check this out. Got the new shirt. What do you think of that one, man? The GOAT.
The GOAT.
He's the greatest, man. I don't care what they say about Floyd Mayweather, man. He ain't no Muhammad Ali.
Nah, man.
Say whatever they want.
Bro,
they can say what they want about Floyd.
Floyd didn't go for the greatest of all time. He went for the best of all time.
There you go. That's a little bit better for him. That's good. But hey, so starting off the main card, the best ever. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
That's what he does. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, man. But yeah, starting off the main card, I thought Alex Caceres looked great, man. What'd you think?
Alex Caceres did look great.
Yeah, he was fighting the guy Kroom that we had looked up last week that had all kinds of experience.
I went with Kroom, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was under the tutelage of James Krause, man.
Oh yeah, yep. I saw that too.
That.
Actually, I was watching Paul's podcast the other day, and he was talking about that on there. That's how I figured that out. But man, Alex Caceres, he looked like he was something last night, man.
Yeah, man, he was looking young again.
Yeah, that was one of his best performances. Young dude.
How old is Alex?
Alex Caceres, I'm gonna say he's 32, but I'm about to look him up right now and see.
Because he's been in the game for a decade already, man.
Yeah, let's see. He is 32 on the dot, man. Look at that.
Good call, buddy.
That was pretty good. Born in 88.
Well, he's looking young out there, man. He was looking spry. And Kroom had a good pace to him, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You see that Terry Howard said, "Ooh, that gun, Nico." I think you pulled up your shirt a little bit and showed your muscle, and Terry Howard's over
here. He got to chill out.
Uh-oh, man. Uh-oh. But yeah, man, Caceres looked good, man. Where does he go from here? He's not even in the top 15. But he's on a 4-fight win streak. He's got to get somebody ranked after this. What do you think?
Alex getting ranked after this?
No, he's got to fight somebody that's ranked at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was looking around, and I think after this fight, probably his best bet would be to try to fight Arnold Allen or Alan Arnold. Is that his name? Alan Arnold? Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with him.
He's number 11. Let's see, Alan Arnold. I've seen him fight a few times, man. He's pretty good. But yeah, he's number 11 in the rankings, and I think that would be a good test for Caceres. I mean, he is now that dude is like I think 17-1. So I mean, it's a big step up in competition. 16-1. He in his last 3 fights in the UFC, he beat Jordan Rinaldi, Gilbert Melendez, and then Nick Lentz. He's been out for a year though. He decisioned all 3 of them. Right. So I think that was the last fight Gilbert had in the UFC. But yeah, Arnold Allen, man, he's pretty good. He's from England. He's an English fighter. So, we'll see. He's fought all the way from bantamweight up to lightweight. So he
check out some of his highlights. Check him out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey Paul, Allen might smoke a man, but Caceres is gonna have to step up, man. 4 fights in a row. He's got to fight somebody ranked in the top 15. Allen's number 11. You got to give him something around there. And plus Allen coming off of a decent break over a year. I think it'll be a good fight, man. Caceres may never break the top 10, but you got to at least give him a shot after 4 wins. I think it's 4 wins in a row. Is that right? 4 wins. Let's see. Yeah, he's got 4 wins in a row, and 3 decisions and one submission. That Chase Hooper fight, that was the one everybody was talking about. But yeah, man. So moving up the card a little bit though. Let's see. The next fight of the night was it was Jimmy Rivera versus Pedro Munoz. What do you think of that fight?
Fantastic fight.
Oh yeah,
absolutely fantastic fight. I can't wait to see the third. Yeah, I can't wait to see the third, dude. They got to do it a third time.
You think there'll be a third?
Somewhere you got to do it.
Yeah, I agree at some point, but at this point right now, I think Pedro should try to leave Jimmy in his rear view for a little while and start working towards the top of the division. I mean, he's good to begin with. Munoz, I think
coming off of a show like that, they could definitely main event a fight night, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it would be major. They would throw down, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, who are you talking about? Those two?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the third fight. Yeah. I don't think it helps him much though. That's the only thing.
I know.
Pedro. Okay, so after the fight, he called for Cody Garbrandt. No, he called for TJ Dillashaw.
I was gonna say he already did Cody.
He already fought Cody. That's right. Knocked him out. Yeah. He's calling for TJ. I don't think that's the best fight for him right now, though. Even though I think him and TJ would be an excellent fight, I don't think that helps him. It helps him, but if it was me, And I had, I was making the fights, or if I was him and I was calling for a fight, I would definitely be calling out Rob Font. He's number 3 in the division.
Okay, I can see that.
You get a win over the number 3 guy in the division, man. You're right there. I know right now the top of the division is kind of weird because you have Cody coming back, you have TJ coming back, you have Corey Sandhagen. So I would let those guys settle their stuff, and I'd call out Rob Font because I think that's a winnable fight for Pedro.
Definitely, I like that. I can rock with that.
And then you're ranked number 3, and his only losses, like we talked about the other night, are against like killers. Like he's got an incredible record. Pedro does. Let me just look this up. I know that he's only lost like 3 fights. I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh no,
four.
3. Well, 3 in the UFC. 4. Nope, actually 4 in the UFC.
4 in the UFC.
5
total.
Yeah, 5. That's actually 5 in the UFC. Now that I'm looking, he lost to a Sunsao, but that was 7 years ago. He lost to Jimmy Rivera 6 years ago, so we could kind of drop those off because he's had so many wins since then. But if you look at the top 10 right now, the only guys he's really lost to are Aljamain and Frankie Edgar, and they were both decisions. A lot of people did not like the decision with Frankie. They thought Pedro won that fight. I had him winning, but I had Frankie on my parlay, so I wasn't upset Frankie won. But I felt like Pedro was going to get the nod, and he didn't. I was kind of surprised about that. But
I definitely had Pedro winning that fight too. He landed 30 more strikes than Frankie did.
He was just more aggressive too. I know Frankie in and out, but that was. And the thing about Pedro Munoz is he's got to win over. Rob Font already, a submission win a couple years ago, and Rob Font's ranked above him. So I say you call out the dude you've already beaten that's above you and say, hey, let's do it again. You know what I mean? He choked out Rob Font in the first round in October of 2017. So it's 4 years ago. But still, you got to think, man, if he's already beat him once, he feels like he could probably do it again. And that would kind of jump him over a lot of guys in the division,
You said he finished him?
Finished him first round submission guillotine.
Yeah, I'd run that again.
Yeah, why not, man? Yeah. So
you got my spot. I want it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw online a couple people saying that Sandhagen should fight Munoz next. I don't really think that that's the best fight at the moment, only because I think both of those guys should eventually get a title shot, and I'd hate one of them to knock the other one off right now. But I just don't see Rob Font getting a title shot anytime soon. But he's ranked number 3, so that's why I said he'd be a good stepping stone for Munoz. But anyway, unfortunately, the next fight was supposed to be Angela Hill versus who was she supposed to fight? Nico, who was Angela Hill supposed to fight last night?
Freaking, what's her name? She was not excited to.
Right. Okay. Ashley Yoder.
Yoder.
And that fight unfortunately got canceled last minute. Unfortunately, I don't know. I wasn't excited about that fight. So it happens. Luckily, it was still a pretty decent fight card without that. Like I said, Angela Hill was the biggest favorite on the card, so that was kind of crazy. But the other women's fight was the next fight of the night. And
100%.
That was a pretty wild fight.
Dog fight.
I loved that fight. I thought that was really good. I think that you got to run it back with those two immediately. I think you wait 8 weeks and let them fight again. Only because, it's kind of like this. You got you saw Brandon Moreno fight Figueiredo, right? And everything. Yep. Oh, well, Figueiredo would have won that fight if he didn't get the point deduction. Well, I mean, how would Moreno have done if he didn't get kicked in the nuts more than once?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So how do we know? Bueno Silva got that point deduction from grabbing the cage, but could De La Rosa have finished her right after that takedown? Who knows? You know what I mean? You can't throw that and say, oh, well, she would have won if this or if that. You can't say it, man, because there's two sides to it. You know what I mean? So
that fucking shit, that pissed me off, though. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I thought Myra was going to tap her out, honestly. I thought she would have welcomed the jiu-jitsu game more than she was stuffing shots. But then again, you watch her clinch work and you're like, okay, I can see why she wanted to keep this on the feet. With clinch work like that, why not, huh?
Yeah. But it was a close fight. But if you're Myra, you got to say, okay, I want the rematch. You got unfinished business there. I don't think and you know, De La Rosa felt like she won. I mean, you know, sometimes that happens where an athlete thinks that they did better than maybe they did, or they felt that it was scored poorly. So if she feels like she won and Myra still wants, you know, to prove herself, I say run it back. Let's go with it.
Look, if you're basing it off of significant strikes, it's clear as day that Myra put that work in. But if you're basing it on total strikes landed, then I could see how she has a case for herself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree with that, definitely.
So, I mean, I would run it back as well. Give them 8 weeks. Let them do it again. Neither one of them was significantly hurt throughout the duration of the fight. So, run it back.
As long as there's no crazy injuries that we don't know about, or you know what I mean? Because one of them could have had a broken hand or messed up a foot or something. A lot of times fighters don't even know that while they're in there until they get in the back, and then their foot is big as a balloon.
My foot was a balloon. My calf was in American football.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that was a pretty good fight. If there was one fight that was, I'd say that was, in my opinion, probably the second best fight of the night. I thought it was a good fight, except for it going to a draw. You know, that's the only thing that kind of put a damper on it.
Oh, you said Angela and Yoder would go to a draw.
Yeah, I did say that.
I was thinking to myself, did he call this?
I was close on that one. No, I picked Myra to win. I think we all picked Myra to win that. But De La Rosa, I'll tell you this, man. She showed some heart in that fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you got to give her credit where it's due. And like I said, give her another chance. You know, let's run it back, do it again. Let that be the main event for a prelims on a pay-per-view. And, you know, they know they'll have a good fight going into the pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But so the co-main event, what did you think of that? It was Ankelov versus Krylov.
I already told you what it is. When you see somebody with Magomed in their name, you don't go against them.
That's true. That's true.
I don't care what they say that they're well versed in. Is it wrestling or is it striking? It doesn't matter. If they say that they got it, they got it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Actually, after the first round, I thought Krylov was looking pretty good, but then it went down.
Was looking good. Yeah, he was looking good. He was holding his own.
Yeah, he was a one-round stud. He was a one-round stud last night, but that's all right.
And he displayed some of it was probably Sambo, right? Like that's what most of the guys out there do, right? It's Sambo. Yeah, they're not traditional wrestlers. So then he got to display some of his grappling with takedown. You saw him lace the legs similar to Khabib. So you could tell that they're all so well versed in that background, man.
Yep,
you're right. It's phenomenal to watch, man. It's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And I mean, if you're a gambling man, you can't go wrong. You see Magomed in the name, throw some money on that guy.
Throw some money
on that guy. If you got it to blow, do it. Magomed, short fire money.
That's kind of like that movie, Play to the Bone, when Woody Harrelson, he tells Antonio Banderas, like, if two guys are going to fight and you don't know either of them, if one's from Philadelphia, that's the guy that's going to win. Put your money on him. You know, so I guess Magomedov is the new Philadelphia.
The new Philly. Magomed, the new Philly.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, what do you think of Magomed's next fight? Who do you think he should fight? Tell us in the chat if you have any ideas. Nico, who do you think he should fight? I mean, think he should fight a ranked opponent next?
I don't know. I would keep stacking those bodies, honestly.
You would?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. With the way he looked last night, and as bad as Ostamir's looked lately, I would call him out, man.
That's who you would go for?
Yeah, he's ranked number 7. Now you're in the top 10, and I feel like Magomed would tear his head off, man. He'd beat him, in my opinion. A lot of these fighters last night are just on the cusp of becoming ranked. So you gotta call people out, man. Chael Sonnen says it all the time. He's like, "Come on, dummy, you had the microphone. Just tell them who you want to fight.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Fight."
You're right, but some people just want to, get that gradual build.
Yeah,
I can see him doing that. I could see him doing that, or I would watch.
Nico, I think I lost you there for a second. Come on back.
I would check out my man Khamzat Chimaev. You know what I mean, and see how he plays out, because he's one of these up and coming guys who they're trying to give a big name right now. Why don't you see how it works out for him instead of just like throwing yourself into that fire off bat,
Hey Paul, I liked a fight against Anthony Smith, but I think he's
Anthony Smith right now.
I think he's scheduled to fight somebody though. Yeah.
Wow, boys.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think it would be a good fight. Smith hits like a truck, man. But I think I saw something about him being scheduled to fight somebody pretty soon. He's fighting Jimmy Crute on April 24th. Let's see. What event is that? Hey, man, Smith hits like a truck, bro. He's one of the hardest hitters I think the light heavyweight division's ever seen. He's just very I don't know. He's just kind of inconsistent, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One of the hardest fights to watch for me ever was that fight. Yes, man. It just bothered me. I was like, man, it just seemed like he didn't want to fight.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, nah.
So,
So hold on. Magomed just did Nikita.
Yep.
Nikita's ranked 8.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Ozdemir is the smartest next play.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good, exciting fight for a little while.
Yeah. Ozdemir's a good play.
Yeah, I think so. So that was the co-main event. And I did not understand why they put that as the co-main event, except I think that they wanted to really feature him.
Yeah, display his striking for sure.
Yeah, but man, and I thought that fight would end. I didn't think that fight would go the distance at all. But in retrospect, and even beforehand, I thought it was kind of strange. I personally would have put the Rivera versus Munoz fight on as the co-main event, just because you knew it was going to be a good fight.
I mean, you did know it was going to be a great fight as well, but they're also bigger boys.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, sometimes you like that natural progression of weights moving into your co-main slots and everything like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So then we'll move to the main event. Man, I was disappointed in this fight. Cyril Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I feel like Rozenstruik didn't show up. Gane looked good. Looked good. He looked smart in that fight. But like I texted you during the event, I felt like he needs better head movement, man. He kept his head very, very still, right on the center line.
And Rozenstruik was freaking. He was so. I don't even know, man. Why didn't he step on the gas, dude? I'm just like asking myself, dude, why not? Like, eventually you got to throw yourself into that fire, dude. You're getting picked apart from the outside. You know that's true. You know you're not going to wrestle him. You know you're not going to blitz, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we doing here?
Yep. Hey, man, his coach was saying the same thing. His coach was not happy about that performance either.
Man. It honestly made no sense to me, dude. I was just watching that with my hands in the air because you know what your greatest weapon is, man. So you got to pitch that thing, or you got to start going at the leg kicks. You clearly see that this man is like bouncing in and out. His footwork is looking immaculate compared to yours. So why don't you go with what everybody seemed to have been going to that whole entire fight card, the freaking calf kick. Unleash it, because he has great kicks, man.
Yeah, he does. He's a kickboxer, and all he did was throw hands, and not even that often. I actually was thinking that maybe he would throw up some shots to the body with his feet, give a kick to the ribs or something. But I mean, Paul said, Gane put on a basketball performance under the circumstances. You can look spectacular and the fight still be boring. I agree, Paul.
It reminded me of GSP, honestly, when GSP was working his jab versus Koscheck. That's how it came off to me. You know, it was super bouncy, control the range, hop in, hit that jab, get out, hop in, hit that jab, get out. Very touchy-feely. You know, he was smart. He played a smart game.
Oh, yeah. Paul said, you blitz a karate guy and you'll get sparked. Imagine a 248-pound wonder boy that has KO power. Yeah. I agree. But, man, Gane wasn't afraid to really, like, mix it up, though, a little bit. He had good control against the cage where Wonder Boy would have just gotten out of there. Yeah. He wouldn't have wanted to he wouldn't wanted to tie up with him. But
you gotta do something. If you're not leg kicking, you gotta blitz because you're getting picked apart on the outside.
Absolutely,
you gotta fucking do something. You gotta set it up, dude, and you gotta step in with everything you got.
Yep, you're not gonna get that touchdown if you don't throw the Hail Mary, man.
By the third round, I get it. First round, maybe you're playing that game, but now you realize you're losing that game. Second round, it happens to you again. You're gonna wash and repeat the same shit for the third round?
And fourth and fifth. It was horrible. I'll tell you what. Gane's a bigger dude than I thought he was.
Yeah,
absolutely. You really saw how big he was last night.
That's MMA Anthony Joshua right there.
He's a big guy. But look, man, I mean, like I was saying, he's got to get better head movement. I hope that they realize that during that fight, because one big shot from like somebody like Lewis or Ngannou right down the middle, he'd have been in some trouble, man. Just by the way he was keeping his head right on the center line. He never moved it no matter what.
No.
He has great footwork, and I think he probably does have better head movement. Maybe it's just not maybe he
didn't need to display his head movement because homie wasn't throwing shit.
That's true too. I mean, that is true. But man, if you're gonna stand there and just take a beating all night, like you said, you got to go for it, man. I understand, Paul, what you're saying about blitzing him, but man, I think I'd rather get knocked out in an exciting fight than sit there and look like a clown who barely threw any shots. And I mean, after a performance like that, I don't even know how this dude can stay in the top 5. And I think he was ranked like 3rd or 4th. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's going to drop significantly. Normally, we usually pick like a fight for the winner of the fight, but I'll tell you what I think that they should do with Rozenstruik next. He should probably fight Walt Harris, just to see if this kid's still got it or not, man. You know, Walt is like number 10, number 11, somewhere in there. Give him a fight with Walt Harris and see if Rozenstruik even has anything left.
That's what you would do with Rozenstruik?
Yeah, man, because if you can't beat Walt Harris at this point, then I think it's time to give up on his on the Rozenstruik project, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, who did after
what about the cows?
The cows. We talked about that on our podcast earlier. You have to rush with combinations as a counter. Rush at Gane is coming forward, so risky. But when the chips are down, yeah, Paul, exactly. The Klaus wouldn't be bad. I want to see something real quick because I cannot remember. Who did Francis Ngannou fight after his 2 losses in a row? I know that Rozenstruik has lost 2 of his last 3. They're not 2 losses in a row, but this reminded me a lot of the Francis and Lewis fight. Okay. So after Francis lost his 2 fights in a row to Stipe and Derek Lewis, he fought Curtis Blades and knocked him out in 45 seconds. That was his comeback fight. I mean, I don't want to see Gane versus Curtis Blades. I'll tell you that. I mean, I don't want to. That might be. No, that's a good fight. I'm saying I don't want to see Rozenstruik versus Curtis Blades right now. I think Curtis would just embarrass him.
Yeah, no.
I think it would be an awful fight. Gane versus Curtis Blades wouldn't be bad. I'll be honest with you though. I'd rather see him against a good striker that's not afraid to strike back. I say you put him in with Volkov and see where the chips fall, man.
Okay, Volkov's nice too. If I'm him, I'm aiming for. Yeah, no, I'd probably aim for Volkov over Blades. just in case Blades decides to show up and display
And
some
wrestle.
wrestling background.
Yeah.
Just in case, just in case he decides to not shoot from the outside, but actually set it up off of his hands or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So if that guy shows up, then maybe.
Yeah. You gotta be careful of that. And I think Gane definitely his takedown defense will, it'll get better over time. I mean, it can't, when you start, you're not gonna get any worse at defending takedowns. So like I said, I'd go against Volkov. I think it would be a good striking show. I think after last night, I think Gane would beat Volkov. I don't think that would be much of a problem. What I don't want to see, and I really hope we don't see, is Lewis versus Gane next. I don't want to see it. Not yet. I want to see it, but not yet. I'm telling you now, because I think you got to keep both.
Well, I mean, hey man, we just thought that he was going to get knocked the fuck out by Rozenstruik.
We did.
Like, we could have sworn by it.
Yeah, I know.
He showed out. So I mean, hey,
a fight versus Lewis right now, though.
I wouldn't want that soon, man.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't
either.
either.
You have to go from there. You only get John Jones and Gane or Stipe after that. Are you ready for that?
Nope. That's what I was saying. Yeah, you give him another fight or two first, because if you beat Lewis, like you said, you're in the land of the immortals, man, and it's not gonna get any easier, Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think I could see him versus Volkov. Let's see. Crazy amount of contenders. Let's see what Paul has to say. Crazy the amount of contenders right now at heavyweight that can honestly argue their case for a title shot. Francis, Jones, Lewis, Gane, and Volkov. I mean, I say let Volkov and Gane fight, and then one of those can stay on the list. I don't know about Volkov would have a hard time for me only because of what Lewis did to him. Even though it was just one shot that it took. I mean, Nico, we lost you again, I think. But anyway, back to what we were discussing, where Gane can go. There you are. He's back. Where Gane can go from here. I mean, the sky's the limit, man. That dude looked really good. He did not look like just a kickboxer last night. He looked better than that. Like I said, it was a very underwhelming performance, but you got to have somebody else who's willing to engage. I mean, it kind of reminded me of the guys. I know he said Wonderboy Thompson, but this really reminded me of the guys back when they'd fight Machida and they were just afraid to come in close.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. And for a long time that was the thing. So maybe we just need a big Muay Thai guy to come in there and fight him. Worked against
some leg kicks.
Yeah, I mean, it worked against Machida. But yeah, you remember the Rashad and Machida fight? I don't think Rashad landed one punch the whole fight. And if he did, it definitely wasn't a significant strike. And that's kind of like how Rozenstruik looked last night, but he just never came for it like Rashad.
That was back when Machida was drinking his own urine, though.
Hey, man, Machida was a beast at that point. I'll tell you what, man. So me and Uncle Jimmy, we were at a sports bar. There was a bunch of us, me and Melanie, Uncle Jimmy, a couple other people. And I said, he's going to beat Rashad. And everybody there was saying, oh, Rashad's going to kill this dude, blah, blah, blah. They just were, I guess, casual fans. They hadn't even seen Machida fight yet. And I'm like, you see all these people in here? I said, Rashad's not winning this fight. I said, unless Rashad gets a lucky takedown and just holds this dude down 5 rounds in a row, he's not winning this fight. So Uncle Jimmy, he bets this guy who's there at the bar. He bet him I think $50 or something like that. Well, the guy was so mad that Rashad got knocked out. He was yelling at the screen, arguing everything. He was just pissed. He was a little bit drunk. So security comes and they start dragging this dude out. And he's as he's leaving, he's wait. He pulls out the $50 bill, puts it on the table. And then he's all right, now you guys can take me out. And he left. I thought that was awesome, man. That's one of my
class act, man. That's a class act.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Pretty hilarious Uncle Jimmy story. But hey, at least he paid his debt before he finished getting kicked out, man. But yeah, man. So a couple fights got scheduled coming up. One of the first one I want to talk to you about, and I wish Justin was here to talk to us about this, but he's not yet. That's all right. We might bring it back up to him later on. A boxing match between Frank Mir and Antonio Tarver. Why? And it's on the undercard of Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. I don't get this. I think that Frank Mir is just taking the payday. I mean, he may believe that he can win this fight. I don't believe he can win this fight. I think he's naturally a little bit bigger than Tarver, but I don't think that will really matter.
Oh, he's definitely bigger than Tarver.
Yeah, but
he's got to be.
But I don't think that'll matter at all.
Nah.
No. I think that Frank Mir will be lucky to last 2 rounds.
Well, you remember when Frank Mir fought who was it? Antonio Silva?
Was it? I think so.
He knocked him out.
He knocked out Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He started talking like heavily about his boxing. Like he just used to talk so much shit. Like, oh, my boxing, so this, so that, right? Then he had the next fight and he fought Todd Duffy.
Oh God.
Knocked him out.
Oh, that's right. He did knock out Todd Duffy.
Exactly. So he's definitely was feeling himself. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely feeling his hands and he's believing in his boxing skill. But they don't realize it's a different game, dude.
Completely.
It doesn't matter. I don't care who your boxing coach is if you do MMA. Your skill set is limited. You have to think about so many other different facets. You're not fighting a boxer. You're not fighting a master at his craft.
Right.
But when you try and play that game with them, they're going to dominate you, dude. They're going to expose you every time. Every time they're going to expose you because you're just not that versed in that wheelhouse. It's just a different sport, man. It's a different sport.
Oh, yeah.
And people think, it's throwing hands, it's fighting. No, it's not.
Nope.
It's not.
Not at all. Your energy level is so much different too. In MMA, you expend a lot more energy right away.
Mm-hmm.
In boxing, usually, in my opinion, they have better cardio only because they go longer, number one. And number two, I think that they are better at retaining that energy over the rounds.
Yeah.
But I just looked it up. Tarver is 6'2" and has a 75-inch reach. Mir is 6'3" and has a 79-inch reach. So he's an inch taller, 4-inch reach.
With long arms.
Yeah, but
he's not going to be able to use them like Tarver. No. It's different, man. No. The hand speed is different. The combinations are different. The understanding of angles is different.
Yep, you're right about that. I think that you'll see Tarver just dominate him. Even though Tarver's been out a while. I mean, when was the last time Antonio Tarver fought? I feel like it's been quite a while.
Yeah, he fought Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. He hasn't fought in 6 years.
Wow.
You know, I mean that's a little while. But man, Tarver when he was really getting it, man, he was nasty.
Like I would have more faith in Frank right now if it was B-Hop.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but yeah, I don't like that fight. I think that MMA guys, like you're talking about, they're making a mistake taking these boxing matches.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of ridiculous. It's like me saying, all right, I'm a good baseball player.
Well, so I'm sure that they see the dollar signs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's really all it is at the end of the day.
It is, but you got to think that he's not going to take the fight unless he actually thinks he's got a chance at winning. But, oh yeah. So
maybe you think, like, hey man, I won't look as bad as Nate Robinson did.
Maybe, but I mean,
if I lose, I won't look like Nate.
Yeah. That's true, but you got to look at it, man. It's kind of like an American baseball player saying, "Hey, man, I'm pretty damn good at baseball. I'm going to go over there and play some, was it cricket? And I'm gonna kill it." You know what I mean? That's there's some ideas that are the same, but it's not the same game. Or an American football player saying they're going to go play football in England.
Yeah,
just because they're good at punting or kickoffs. Yeah. We'll see what Paul has to say. Rumors that Teofimo Lopez defending his belt in the co-main of that card. How fucked is boxing? Guy just beat Lomo, was pound for pound #1, and now he's co-main eventing a YouTuber.
Wait, hold on. He's co-main and whose?
He's saying that. He's saying that. No, Frank Mir is on the Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight, and Paul said the rumor is that Lopez will be defending his title in the co-main event of that card.
Yo, get the fuck out of here right now. Get out of here. That's clown shit. No fucking way that's happening. There's no way that's happening.
That would be horrible.
Bro, he has every title, right? He's undisputed, right? Unified.
Yeah. Pound for pound, #1.
Pound for pound, #1. Bro, he's smoking crack if he does that. He's smoking crack if he does that shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like that at all.
There's no fucking way. I don't care how much money they offered me. Bro, that's an insult to your titles.
Yep.
That's shitting on lineage, on history, on everything. No way.
Paul said it's legit being talked about, though. I mean, I believe it's being talked about, but if he does it, I think he's selling himself short. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Floyd Mayweather would never.
Nah, he would
never.
Yep.
You can go, oh, he's not that, but he kind of is right now. That's what he's going towards. So to sell yourself shorter for anything less than that is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Your main event, you're the superstar. Your name headlines the marquee 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's it. You're right about that. You are right. Hey, Nico, real quick, I'm going to show you something I'm sure you've seen before, but we will just throw this up there, and this is just a news report, so we'll be all right with this. Let's go ahead and run this real quick. You remember that?
Nah.
You've seen that fight? No?
Tim Silva and who? Ray who?
Ray Mercer.
Nah, I have not seen this with Ray Mercer.
This is the first round.
Whoa.
Yep, that was the end of Tim Sylvia's boxing career, and I think that Frank Mir is going to suffer the same.
That was a straight boxing match?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, go back. No way, because
that might have been MMA.
No, that was MMA.
You're right. That might have been. You're right. It was MMA.
They would never sanction that shit. Boxing in those small gloves? No.
Yeah, you're right. It was MMA.
At that time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was MMA. I'm trying to remember what. Let's see. I'll go back to that real quick. Let's see. But I do think that.
How old was Ray Mercer right there, man?
Bro, I'm gonna say
he walked out there looking like Carl Winslow. That was crazy.
Yep. Let's see what we got.
Mercer walking through. Yo.
Tim Sylvia. I think this was the end of the career of Tim Sylvia.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
That's right. It was MMA. That's right.
Oh my Lord. Like old, but still you see that form, you see that step in, you see that pivot. My God.
I think that Frank Mir is going to be facing the same type of situation, honestly. And like I said, I don't think he's going to last 2 rounds with that in that match. Unless Antonio Tarver comes in completely out of shape and just looks horrible, I think he'll be fine. And
what was the movie with Damon Wayans?
Oh, The Great White Hype.
Great White Hype.
Yeah.
That's how Tarver go walk in the ring looking like?
He might, man. He might. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm going to look and find out when that MMA fight was against Tim Sylvia. So it's 2009. So we're looking at 11 years ago. So he was 48 years old. Yeah, 48. But that was right after. that was a little while after Ray Mercer had that one MMA match with Kimbo, which was an exhibition. It lasted about 1 minute and 12 seconds. Have you ever seen that fight?
Nah, I have not.
We'll have to check that out later on.
I
Kimbo
was
versus
one
Ray
of the
Mercy.
guys early on, like when Kimbo was fighting, I was kind of hating on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
He's a backyard banger, but I grew to respect Kimbo a lot, man.
Oh yeah, when definitely.
I tuned into some of his backyard shit. My mind was blown, man. They had some great fights up there, man.
The dude with the eye.
Oh my god, brutal. A lot of people tried to bury the footage of Kimbo versus that police officer though, because homie put it on Kimbo.
He did, but
break it up. They did everything in their wheelhouse to make Kimbo win that fight, man. His gas tank just couldn't hang with him, man.
Right. That's true. But it's all good. Back to the
got his start out that way, yeah.
Yeah, fighting in his backyard, man. Fighting in Kimbo's backyard.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that's one of the one of the kind of ridiculous fights that got scheduled this past week. Now, Weili Zhang signed to fight Rose Namajunas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it looks like that's either going to be the co-main event for Valentina versus Jessica Andrade, or Jessica Andrade is going to be the co-main event for that. Either way, those are two awesome title fights the same night. I think that'll be exciting.
Who's Andrade fighting again?
Jessica Andrade versus Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah. Yep.
And they would co-main for Weili or vice versa.
I'm not sure which one they're looking at for the co-main. Let me look that up real quick. I think Valentina was going to be the co-main, honestly, from what I was reading earlier.
Valentina 125?
Yep.
Okay, makes sense. Nah. Weili Zhang 115.
115. Yep.
Nah, man. Nah.
I think so. I think that
Weili
they were
pulling more eyes than Valentina. Well, it's China. China's population got to be bigger than Poland, right?
Maybe in other countries. Yeah, let's see.
Is that where
Valentina
Shevchenko from Poland?
Nah, she's not. But she actually grew up in Peru. Let's see.
Valentina grew up in Peru?
Yeah, but she's not from Peru. But she grew up there. So let's see, UFC 261. I can tell you Valentina is from. Yeah, I saw something about her a while back, and it said that she grew up or trained in Peru. So she's from the Soviet Union. She's from Kazakhstan, but I think let's see. She says she does not consider herself to be she's Russian. But let's see, what was it? She has dual citizenship. So yeah, I'll have to look up what I think. I'm pretty sure
she's basically like an assassin, right?
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Right? She got dual citizenship. She's like trained in armed forces, military, like hand-to-hand combat. She's basically like a hired assassin. Yeah,
it seems like it. Okay, who was it that was accusing? Somebody was accusing her of being a spy at one time.
Yeah, she got to be.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, she's pretty nasty, man.
Got a gun tattooed on her hip and shit. Like, yeah.
Yep. You're right about that.
Nah, but I mean, normally you would go to the heavier ones, right? That's normally who would get the main event spot. But I guess Weili being from China, you would assume that she would get the viewers. So maybe that's why they went that route, if they go that route.
Yeah, Paul said it too. Yeah, Zhang versus Namajunas is the main event. That's what I was. It does. And I think that it's going to be a better fight than Valentina versus Jessica, to be honest with you. The crazy thing about Valentina is that, okay, so she's only got the losses to Amanda Nunes, right?
Yeah.
But even in those fights, any fights, you've never seen her in trouble where you're like, oh man, she's about to get finished. Never. I don't remember even seeing her. She's had like one or two bad rounds, really. Like that one round against Jennifer Maia, it seemed like she took off, I think the fourth round, I think it was. And besides that, she fought a perfect fight. And I think Jennifer Maia was like, all right, this is my one chance, and went for it. And Valentine's like, all right, that's all you got, and then came back right out in the fifth and just kept working her again. But just how dominant she is as a champion, man, is amazing. And if we're talking pound for pound, the best fighters, and then we're not doing men and women, I'd say her and Amanda have to be in the top 5, both of them. They've got to be. I mean, not too many people I'd put above them either. You know,
no.
John Jones, Khabib. I don't really know who else I'd put above Amanda and Valentina because nobody's been as dominant as them.
You mean currently on the roster?
Yeah. Nobody else around, I don't think. I mean, Usman, I know he's in the top 10.
We always gonna mention Demetrius Johnson. I don't care if he's current or not. We always gonna mention him.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, he's pretty nasty, man. Still, he's fighting soon. He's fighting on TNT for one fighting championship pretty soon. Let's see. Mighty Mouse Johnson has that fight coming up.
He always gets the respect that he deserves on this show.
Definitely. I think Eddie Alvarez is on the main card underneath Mighty Mouse for this event he's got coming up. Let's see. Let's see where it was. I think there were like 3 former UFC fighters all on the same card. Let's see, next fight. Yeah, no, Mighty Mouse. I mean, you know, you can never take anything away from that guy, man. Too many times he just came out and showed off. You know, but yeah, we'll look at that later on. I'm pretty sure, like I said, Eddie Alvarez is on the card, and who was the other one that was on there? John Lineker is fighting on that card too, I believe.
Lineker.
Yeah.
What was his last fight, man? I feel like I haven't seen him fight in a while. I must have missed the last thing he was on.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I was surprised. I didn't know he was in ONE FC until I saw this card that's coming up. The last time he fought was so he's fought twice in ONE FC. The last time he fought in the UFC was 2019. He lost to Corey Sandhagen by split decision.
Okay.
So and now he's gone 2-0 in ONE FC so far.
Good for him, man.
Yeah. So,
that's crazy too, huh? Because he had beat Marlon Vera, he beat Brian Kelleher, who's been on like a fucking tear up until he just lost this most recently, loses to Corey Sandhagen, and then he's in ONE FC. What the fuck is happening there?
Yeah,
is it because he was only fighting once a year?
Probably. Yeah. So he's actually not on that fight. They have a bunch of fights in April, ONE FC on TNT. He's the co-main event. He's the co-main event, and he is, let's see. Yeah, and there's a middleweight title fight for the main event, and I'm Ong La Zong versus Vitaly Big Dash, I think. That's pretty much the way it's spelled. But anyway, look for that ONE FC on TNT, man. That's going to be some good fights, man. They got a lot of good talent. Yeah, it's free. They got some good talent, man. And we'll be talking about ONE FC coming up pretty soon. They had a girl make her debut last week that's 16 years old, and she won her pro debut. And I want to talk to you and Justin about that, but I want to wait till both of you guys are on here. We'll have a little debate class and see what you guys think of a 16-year-old fighting professionally.
You already know where I stand on it.
Yeah,
let that shit rock. Nate Diaz was cutting his teeth against grown-ass men inside that gym.
Yeah, that's true.
Back when he was rocking the Marshall Mathers hair.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you're talking about Nate, that video? Yeah, that was pretty good.
Man. Come on, like that video. Badass, is it not?
Yeah, oh, definitely. But yeah, so elsewhere, I don't know if you saw today, but Usman versus Masvidal got supposedly announced, but they don't have a date yet. I think I saw something with Masvidal, and he said that it is official, but it's going to be in either August or September. That's one thing I don't like about him lately, man. He's not been fighting. All right, so they're saying, according to Usman's manager, it's going to be. Well, no, hold on. According to Masvidal, it's in September. Masvidal's only fighting these one fight a year. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a whole half year away. And what?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. That's right. But
man, do that shit in May.
Yeah, that's what I would. Or fight week. You know, if you need a couple months, go to fight week in July. You know,
July is all right, but man, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see Usman get rolled back over, man. I'm trying to see Usman roll back over. Why not?
Yeah,
What did he just go through? What did he just go through?
Not much. Yeah,
nothing. Roll him back over. He's fresh.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're putting on 3 title fights.
Yeah, 3
title fights. Three people on ice. You better roll him back over.
Hey man, they may tell
Valentina, not Valentina. Amanda don't fight that often. Not no more.
Unfortunately.
Right? And she's a mother now, so it's like.
Yeah, I don't see her being around much longer, to be honest with you. I think she might have a few fights left in her, but I think she'll probably retire at some point in the not too distant future, man.
If Izzy don't knock Jan the fuck out, it's gonna be like treacherous for both of them. So they're gonna be on ice for a minute.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. So
it's about to get crazy. I cannot wait. Oh my god, man. It's about to get so crazy.
Yeah. Oh, there's some great
fights. I don't know what that house is gonna sound like, but my house is gonna be bro. I'm gonna have to tell my boys keep it down. My son's sleeping. It's about to be crazy though, man. What a wild night.
Yep. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
We're getting 3 title fights in one night.
Yeah. This coming up next weekend. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan.
Yeah, Munoz. It's the first time that this has ever happened for UFC.
3 title fights in one night. I want to say no, but it's possible that it is. Paul, has there ever been 3 title fights in the same night?
It just feels so epic to me, man. It feels like such a huge night.
Oh yeah, it is big. Every title holder, bar Khabib, fighting in a 4-month span. That's pretty cool. UFC 205. Let's see, which one was 205? I know Connor was on that event. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't he against Eddie Alvarez at 205?
Okay.
Yep, Connor versus Eddie Alvarez. Oh yeah, Woodley beat Thompson in the co-main event, and Joanna beat Karolina Kovacevic in the third to last fight.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, nice. Paul said there's one other one that took place in the 100s. I thought so. I thought there was one a while back, but I can't even remember what it is.
It's so wild that we're at UFC 259 right now, man. That's crazy.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right. And especially when you got all the fight nights you add up and all everything. I'd say they've got to be somewhere around 700 events. There's got to be.
Doing it, man. They're doing so good.
Yep. I'm gonna look up and see how many UFC events they're saying there's been total. Okay, it was actually the 553rd UFC event last night.
Wow.
And they've held in 161 cities and 28 countries. It's pretty amazing. Yep. But they've certainly never put 5 belts on the line. Yeah. They've certainly never put 5 belts on in a month. Yeah, I know that's right. But man, could you imagine a five title fight night? That'd be insane. That'd be pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, like who opens like that? Imagine the pissing contest that's gonna be like. What? You want me to open? You want me to be mid? What?
Nah, it'd have to be like Peter Yan or somebody like that doesn't draw very well.
Yeah,
it'd have to be. Which there's nothing wrong with him. He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's going very big.
But then let's say that they're gonna do Peter Yan versus Henry Cejudo. You think Henry Cejudo opening?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, great. He just boosted Peter. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It all depends on who the dance partner is now.
Yeah, that's true too. That's definitely true. But yeah. So what other things are coming up that you're looking forward to in the not too distant future in the UFC? I know there's a lot of fights, some huge stuff going on. What are you most excited about? What fight?
Man, I'm Izzy.
Is it? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Izzy and Jan, man.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Absolutely.
That's just my laser focus right now, man.
I mean, I like that fight. I'm excited for it, but I don't know, man. I'm more excited for the rematch between Francis and Stipe, man. I don't know why, but I really think that's gonna be an awesome fight. Let's see what we got. Right. Oh, okay. So in March there are 5 title fights. He said UFC 259 and 260. There's 5 title fights. That's pretty awesome. Wow. What are the title fights on UFC 260? I need to look that up. Is that Francis versus Stipe and somebody else? Let's see. Yeah, it's Stipe versus Francis, number 2, and the co-main is, let's see, who is the co-main? Oh, and Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega, another fight I'm excited about.
Yo, that's fire too, man. Whitaker and Costa coming up as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm stoked for that too. Honestly, I know Costa looks sketchy in that fight with Izzy, but you gotta assume that he's gonna try and bounce back in a major way.
He's got to.
Whitaker's not backing down from no man, so that should be fireworks. I'm very excited for that.
I'm with you on that, man. Did you see Israel? No, not Israel. He beat Costa. Did you see what Costa was saying yesterday in his statement?
Nah.
Oh man, you're gonna love this. He says that in the fight versus Izzy, he was either drunk or hungover because he drank too much wine the night before. That's legit.
Man, get the fuck out of here right now.
That's legit.
Go somewhere.
I'm gonna find the exact quote
on that UFC 260. Sean O'Malley and Thomas Almeida fighting too. Fire.
Oh yeah.
Fire. Can't wait to see that.
I'm with you on that one. I'm excited about that. Let's see. This is Paulo Costa's quote translated from Portuguese. I was kind of drunk when I fought, maybe on hungover. I couldn't sleep because of leg cramps. Keep in mind that the fight happens at 9 a.m. We have to wake up at 5 to get ready, stretch, wrap the hands. The UFC told us to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to the arena to fight. I hadn't slept until 2:30. It was my mistake. I don't blame anyone else. It was something I chose to do, but in order to try to sleep, because I had to sleep since I was awake for 24 hours, I had wine, too much wine, a bottle of wine to try to black out. I had a glass that didn't work. Yeah, I had a glass that didn't work. 2 glasses, it didn't work. Half bottle, didn't work. I had it all. Yep. That's his quote.
A fucking moron. I can tell the leg cramp thing is probably true though, because you can see off rip he had the cups on the back of his calves.
Yeah,
from getting cupped out and shit. So, man, maybe, but honestly, I'm trying to think of how to word this shit. Nah, fuck it. He's a fucking moron if he drank any wine before his fight.
Yeah,
like just don't sleep then.
That's insane.
Why would I'd rather go in tired versus drunk? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Now you going in tired and buzzed off wine? If this is even facts, but like, I don't get why you would put this information out on yourself anyway.
Kind of insane, man. I don't know. Yeah, and like you were getting ready to say something, and then you stopped. His coaches, what the hell were they doing?
Yes, his coaches. What the fuck were they doing, dude?
You got to have some handlers, man.
This is my kid. Like, I'm not. What am I babysitting here? No, man. Come on. How do you not know this?
Yeah, that was kind of silly. Yeah. So that was one of the headlines that came out yesterday, around the time of the fights. So also, which I find interesting, this little tidbit that came out. They signed Carla Esparza to fight against, I always butcher these names, man, and I'm trying to do better. Jan Azayan. We were talking about her the other week.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, but she's good. You definitely should look her up. Just the fact that Dana was just saying that if Rose didn't take the fight, Carla was going to be the one to get the fight. against Weili Zhang, why are you taking on a prospect who's probably going to kill you? It doesn't make any sense to me. I was shocked to see that. I was like, what is she doing? I mean, this girl, you've had to seen her before. In her last, okay, I'm going to tell you that in the UFC, she is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's 6-0. Her last 3 fights, she's won the decisions against Claudia Gadelha, Carolina Kovacevic, and Angela Hill. Okay. That's top-notch competition right there.
Yeah.
If you could beat those 3, I mean, you're sitting there, you're ready to be in title contention. Let's see. I want to see what she is ranked. She's got to be ranked pretty decently.
This is the young girl?
Yeah. And I mean, she's gonna dominate this fight, man. She is like phenomenal.
She's gonna dominate Carla.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What aspect of the fight?
Every aspect of the fight, man. She's nasty.
She can grapple.
She can grapple, definitely. I'm trying to hold on a second. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so she's actually ranked number 3, and that's 1 above Carla. Maybe they told Carla she had to win that fight to get the title fight.
Okay.
That's the only thing that that's the only way I would have taken that fight. If I was Carla Esparza, her manager, her trainer, I'd be like, no, we're not doing this. Because
Carla's been killing it, man.
Yeah.
Carla's been killing it.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? As interesting as it sounds, what Dana's probably thinking, she's pretty nasty on the feet. She's pretty good. She's pretty good with stand up. But I think what Dana is probably thinking is that this girl Yan is probably going to win and get a future title shot against Weili Zhang and have it be like an all Chinese fight. I mean, she's from China as well, so from that kind of standpoint, hey man, maybe they want to do like a huge fight in China. It would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that would be crazy.
It would sell out in minutes, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So. He's always got a method to his madness. I was going to wait for Justin for this, but I'm going to bring something up to you. Now, I know that you think that Rose is going to beat Weili Zhang. I know you think that. So we're not going to argue that right now. But let me just
Rose!
Let me just put something. And Paul, I want you to listen to this, man, because you heard it here first. I think the play here is Valentina is going to beat Jessica Andrade. And I'm convinced Weili is going to beat Rose. And I think when she beats Rose, she's going to call out Valentina, and they're going to do a 125-pound super fight. They were already talking about it over a year ago. Now's the perfect time. If she wins that fight against Rose, I mean, she's got the division on lock. Time for a super fight, man. The problem with Valentina is there's no real contenders there right now. They need to create a contender. That's the way to do it, man. Now, like I said, we'll argue.
You got to spoil the party.
She'll try, but we'll argue. We'll argue that fight later on. But I just want you to know that's my theory. We'll see. I don't see it, but we'll talk about it as that fight gets closer. But in my opinion, that's what I think is at least one idea they're probably floating around, that if those two both win that night, that they probably would do a super fight. Paul, what do you think of that as a super fight? How you think that would go? Let's see. Okay.
Rose.
Let's see what Paul has to say. He wrote us a paragraph. It's all a bit suspect. One guy manages Weili, Rose, and Carla. So when the discussions about Rose not wanting to fight came out, it must have been the manager who bull rushed Carla into the conversation. I think Zion was always next after Rose. See what Paul said? I think he's right too. Dana wants the fight, but he wants to do China versus China first in China. I mean, I understand that. I agree with that. I think that would be
Rose.
We'll see, man. I don't know, man. I like Rose Namajunas, but okay.
Touch. Bit.
She's a very smart fighter.
IQ.
But it's true. I'll give her that. The thing that I don't like about her is I think that she's a very emotional fighter, and I don't always think that that's the best thing to be. It's good to be sometimes, but not always.
I'm going for her to win the title, and then I'm going against her when she defends the title.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I mean, that makes sense. And that's how it went last time. But
Exactly. She showed you who she was.
yeah, but I don't know. Another interesting bit that came out this week is that Dan Hardy says he's coming out of retirement and wants to fight Matt Brown.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm not sure where that exactly started, if there's any kind of beef there or
I like it. I want to see it.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
When he was killing everybody and then fought GSP, I was a big fan. I knew he was going to lose the GSP because he just wasn't as versatile as he needed to be.
Red Mohawk.
Oh yeah. So this is a rematch. Is it a rematch or no? Let's see. No, I don't think that they fought before. Okay, so it got canceled. It was supposed to happen 2013 on UFC on Fox 7, Henderson versus Melendez, but it got canceled. So maybe Dan Hardy thinks he's still got some unfinished business there. Let's see. Dan Hardy wants to return, but not to fight some bum. And he's saying Matt Brown is in his crosshairs. Okay, so there's probably not any kind of beef, but they probably just always wanted to compete against each other. But man, Dan Hardy coming back, that's interesting. I kind of like that idea. I'll tell you who we haven't.
170?
Yeah, 170. Yep. You know who we haven't heard much from as far as a fight, I don't think, is Paul Felder. He hasn't taken any fights, has he?
Nah, Red Dragon.
Yeah, he's doing his commentary thing and he's doing awesome with it. I'm a big fan, but
No, who did he call out? He did call somebody out.
Well, he lost.
Thanks for somebody.
He lost that fight to RDA on short notice, right, at 170.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, he's just been chilling. He may have called somebody out, but man, he's one of those guys that really turned into an awesome fighter. Losing to RDA on a couple days notice, weeks notice, 2 weeks notice, not that big of a deal, not that bad. But man, there's a lot of guys that
split decisions, very close in total strikes landed in both events. First Dan Hooker as well. Yep. So he has nothing to get ashamed about. He's a legit contender, dude. He's nasty.
Hey man, a Dan Hooker rematch would be kind of nice right now for both of those guys.
Yeah.
But man, there's just so many interesting matchups at lightweight for him right now. That I would, I'd like to see him come back sometime in the not too distant future and do something. Let's see what else.
Maybe it was Justin Gaethje that he said he wouldn't mind.
Really?
I could be wrong. I want to see what he said. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I understand that. Paul Felder versus Justin Gaethje would be amazing. Let's see. I'm gonna check if I see anything. Let's see, anybody. Oh, okay, that was from last year. I'm not sure. But I think he matches up against Justin Gaethje pretty well, as far as skills, and I think he's a lot smarter fighter than Justin Gaethje.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be as athletic. He's definitely more technical. I think he's just smarter, man. Oh yeah, hey, I like that. Paul said it should be him and Ray Janelle, Quinta. That'd be a good fight. I like that. Those are two bad dudes. Always game to fight, man. Always ready to throw down. But yeah,
I fought Beneil.
I don't think he's fought Beneil Dariush. No, I don't think so. Let's see. I'll pull up Paul Felder's record. But going forward, man, there's just so many fun fights at lightweight and welterweight, I think, right now, and heavyweight. Man, there's just so many good fights to make. I think this is probably the best that several divisions have looked in such a long time.
100%.
Yeah. It's just it's unreal. And I think middleweight will be good again very soon, but I think Israel's just kind of holding up the division to see if he wins the light heavyweight title. I don't see him going up and down to defend both titles. Do you?
No.
If he wins it? No. Okay. Yeah, no, he's never fought Benil Dariush. So that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I think if Israel wins that, man, I think that he's gonna go ahead and say, I'm done with the middleweight division. Let's go on and see what I could do up here at light heavyweight. And he says he may go to heavyweight. Who knows?
But yeah, I'm finna knock his ass out.
Hey, it's possible, man.
Yeah, I'm finna sleep that man.
We'll make our picks Wednesday.
I'll make my pick now.
You just watch some tapes first, young man.
I'll make my pick right now.
I feel you on that. There was what was the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about tonight? There was something else going on in MMA that I was a little bit surprised about. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, we talked about Pedro calling out TJ Dillashaw for his comeback.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, they still have not officially thrown Tony Ferguson into a fight yet. I know that they're saying that
Chandler wasn't Michael Chandler.
They're saying it's probably going to be, but
still they're saying that.
What's that?
They're still saying that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Bro, man, that's so crazy. So crazy.
You know what, though, man? Oh, I know exactly. It was Tony Ferguson I wanted to talk to you about. Did you hear who his new coach is?
Is it the dude who's been chasing around Diego with the knife?
No, man, but that guy would be pretty amazing. No, I kind of like Tony Ferguson's new coach choice. Because, Tony's never had a head coach before.
Okay.
He has like this guy, that guy, all these different people. And it was weird during the Justin Gaethje fight. I don't know if you know this, but his coaches, after like 3 rounds, his several corner, I don't know what to do. What should we do? They sent Eddie Bravo in there in the 4th round between rounds to talk to him because they didn't know what else to do at that point.
What is Eddie going to tell him about striking?
Nothing at all. And Eddie was like, they put me on the spot. I didn't know what to do. He's like, I'm not an MMA coach. I'm a jiu-jitsu coach, So anyway, interesting. Now I liked it.
He's talking to him about UFOs and shit in the corner.
He said, no, this fight isn't real, man. He's like, you did some DMT and this is all just, you're imagining it, man. No, but so Tony hired Freddie Roach to be his trainer. I kind of like that.
No. What the fuck? That's so cringe. Oh my god, it's so Tony Ferguson. What the fuck? Bro. Okay. Now you want what is it gonna do for him? Honestly, what is learning
I don't know because
gonna do it for him.
That's the one good thing about Tony is his boxing has always been pretty crisp. His MMA boxing has always been pretty good. I mean, this is his wrestling
crazy shit. This is crazy.
Hey, that's who he hired though, man. That's
so legit. Freddie Roach is gonna corner for him as well.
Man, I don't know. From what I've been reading, yes, he is.
That would be mind blowing. That would be really crazy.
It'll be amazing.
Freddie Roach walked to that octagon, I might lose my shit.
Hey,
that's wild.
I'd like to see it, man. I think it'll be pretty insane. We'll see what happens, but
that's so Tony, man. That's so Tony.
It really is. Hey, at least he decided to do something because I think that
I see a lot of MMA guys working with this dude, Kevin Gleason.
Okay, all right.
And I'm assuming he's very boxing oriented based off of his last name, if I'm not mistaken. But he seems to be doing well with guys. I think he was doing pads for Gilbert Burns, if I'm not mistaken, before his last fight. Granted, how that played out for Gilbert because you chose him, but you know.
Hey man, hey that first round was pretty awesome, but it all went downhill from those leg kicks after that. But you see the picture of Freddie Roach?
I see the picture of Freddie Roach.
Could be crazy, man. I'm just waiting because this is the thing. You know, Freddie Roach has like this whole beef with my boy Teddy. So, you know, hey, what if Teddy starts training some MMA fighters? It would definitely help.
Teddy Atlas in the corner of Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, he loves Dustin Poirier. Yep.
Right, and then Freddie in the corner of Tony. But Tony does not deserve that title fight, so we have to go a different way. Let's go Teddy Atlas in the corner of Max Holloway.
Coming up to fight Tony?
And then he gets the title shot.
There you go. I would love to see it. Man, when they were both on their tear, I was really wanting to see that fight. Because that's one of the only lightweights at that point that I thought Max would do pretty well against, only because Tony never has been that crazy, strong, huge guy. He's got more of like a slight build. He's not going to go in there and overpower him. I mean, Poirier just looked too strong for Max in that last fight. But I also think that if Max is going to go up, he's going to have to do something about his body as far as bulking up a little bit. I think on that fight, he just didn't
that weight. So give him Tony.
Yep. So
you never know. His boxing some more.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Tony's wrestling looked so bad in the last fight that to I don't know, to sit there and work on your boxing. I don't know. It's just interesting, to say the least. I don't know where he goes from there, but hey, man, if it helps him, more power to him. Maybe he can get that guy and Diego's buddy. You know, those would be pretty awesome.
That guy Diego's buddy and Ito Portal, homie that used to coach Connor in the movement.
Yes.
All of them.
He's the guy from the park, right? Isn't that the one that they were? Yeah.
Ito Portal's touch button the park.
But yeah, man, I don't know. They were saying that the whole Connor fight, just moving on to Dustin Poirier, they were saying that Connor fight was pretty much as good as booked. And then this week, Dustin was saying he's got to have the right deal to take that fight, and that welterweight fight versus Nate is not off the table. So I want to see him fight both of them, even if it's the same night. I'm down, man. I think they're exciting fights. They could do a round robin like we used to do in wrestling, man. All fight each other in one night.
All fight each other in one night. That would be an epic card.
Yeah, it would. You don't need anybody else on the card.
You see their names and all the different ways they could play. That would be so sick. Oh my god.
Yeah, you don't need anybody else on the card, man. Yeah, maybe a couple buffer fights for in between just to give them.
You gotta have one other guy on the card just so it could be even.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just do the 3, 4, let's see. So you'd have
four guys.
You could do 3 and just do round robin.
No. You do 4 guys and you put 2 octagons in the arena.
Hey, man, I would
fight at the same time.
That'd be pretty awesome. Have you ever been to like a local MMA event where there was boxing and MMA?
Yes.
And they have like the ring right next to the cage?
Yes.
That's pretty wild, man.
That's sick.
I always liked, but see, this is the thing, man. Every time I go to those, I'm like, well, I understand why they don't do it, because the ring could get messed up in an MMA fight, and then you got a messed up ring for a boxing match. Because the boards underneath could shift and stuff like that. But I always preferred the fights in the ring. Like in Pride, I thought they were like amazing in the ring, man. I would love to see some ring fights in North America.
No, that would be sick, man.
I don't think too many companies do that, if any, but yeah, man.
A way to like fold the cage down and then prop the legs up with the ropes. And then when that fight's over, the cage comes back up. That would be some crazy shit.
Could be like Hell in a Cell, man.
Hell in a Cell. Amazing. Drop the cage, raise the cage. Now, they probably only don't do that because they know that's like a page out of Vince's book. You can't go that far. Even though people do copy his blueprint. Let's be real now.
All the time.
They steal his fucking blueprint. But that would just be too much now.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll fucking do it.
Hey, I did want to tell you and the viewers what we had talked about. The Wednesday before WrestleMania, we are going to do a WWE themed super show. Discuss WrestleMania, discuss the old WrestleManias, everything like that. We'll have a couple wrestlers on here talking it up. It'll be fun, man. We'll do that. So that'll be one thing that we're coming up with. Macho Mania for real. But yeah, man, anything else you want to do to discuss before we wrap this up? I guess Justin, man, he never made it. I think he's stranded on the side of the highway somewhere.
One too many deep.
That's all right. We'll catch up with him on Wednesday. We have that.
Has Khabib relinquished the title yet?
No, not yet, man. I don't know what's going on with that.
That was really the only thing I wanted to ask is if anybody heard anything on that front. Has he let it go yet? Because the second he lets it go, my ears to the ground for him versus GSP. Just because he lets it go does not mean he has walked away completely. I'm telling you guys now, keep your ear to the ground. It's coming. It's bubbling.
Yeah.
It's bubbling.
That'd be pretty amazing.
I'm going to keep putting it in the atmosphere.
Hey, I'd love to see it, man. I would love to see it. You know, last night, speaking of ring fights, real quick, I'll tell you, last night I was watching some of the old Bodog fights, and you know, they fought in the ring. I always preferred that. I was watching the Matt Lindland versus Fedor fight.
Man, I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, I'll send you. I can send you a link, probably. I can send you a link, but anyway, I did want to mention this Wednesday night we have our rescheduled interview with Mark Lobliner, the owner of MTS Nutrition and the Outright Bar and Tiger Fitness. He'll be joining us at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. We'll do his interview, and then after that, for the second hour of the show, we will be doing our picks for UFC 259, where I redeem myself and show all these guys that I'm the master picker. This weekend, I'm pretty sure when I added it up, I think we all were 3-3. I'm pretty sure.
It was 500 for me.
Yeah. So, and you would have been 3-4 if Yoder actually would have fought against Angela Hill because she was going to beat her, and I would have been 4-3. You'd have been 3-4, so I would have won that one. But you know, when that gets rescheduled, we'll revisit it. But yeah, 259 is this weekend. That's a huge event. So we'll definitely be talking about that on Wednesday. Nico, anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this up?
Nah, man, I'm good, man.
Oh, one more thing. I meant to say this last week, but supposedly Shaquille O'Neal is going to be putting some money into BKFC. He's a big fan. He's always at their pay-per-views, and now he wants to invest in it, which is pretty awesome, man, because if he invests, probably some other athletes or big-time entertainers will invest, and that is definitely what they need right now because I see that becoming more popular than boxing over the next few years. I mean, boxing will always have that one big fight a year or two big fights a year that people order, but besides that, with consistent entertainment, I think BKFC, the bare-knuckle fighting is more entertaining.
Will there be a Papa John's logo on the ring?
Was there last time? Oh, because of Shaq. I got you. I'm with you. Okay. What's up, bro? There may be, man. Maybe Shaq will walk out there in the Papa John's shirt, man. But
Papa John's, and what else does he have? The Car General.
Yeah, he's got the Car General. Does he have a car dealership too?
I don't know, man. That guy, man, he's gonna be loaded forever.
Oh, yeah.
His kids gonna be loaded.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He owns some 155 Five Guys burgers and fries. He owns 17 Auntie Anne's pretzels.
155 Five Guys?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. I love Five Guys.
Hey man, I love Auntie Anne's pretzels, and he owns 17 of those.
He just must have them in the most frequently visited places he goes to, just so he can just let me go to my shop.
And he owns 40 24-hour fitness franchises also. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, man.
Mobile.
You know, back in the day, they talked a lot of junk about him because I think who made his shoes back in the day? Reebok at first. I'm pretty sure he was a Reebok athlete. And when like his contract was up, he didn't go back with them. He signed a deal with like Kmart.
Okay,
and made a whole lot more money because everybody was able to buy his shoes. They could afford them, man. They weren't $150 anymore. They were like $30. And he was like, hey, man, I'd rather make shoes that everybody can afford. And, man, they sold a whole lot more than Reebok did. So he made some good business decisions.
Way better than the Starberries.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, he's a pretty good businessman. I think he's pretty smart, even when people, think that he's not. But yeah, man, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Paul, thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody else that's watching, thank you. Join our page, like it, share it, follow it, all that kind of stuff. We're at the Fight Gods. Oh wait, hold on. We're at Fight Gods Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Let me go ahead and put that up there.
Instagram, yeah.
Yep, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We haven't done anything with TikTok yet, but we will be soon. I got a couple ideas that I've had brewing. I just haven't gotten a chance to really mess with it yet. But definitely follow us on those, and we will have some more social media opening up pretty soon, and we'll get that to you guys. Nico, you want to go ahead and take it home?
Thank you guys for joining us again here at the Fight Gods Podcast. Peace, love, happiness to all you guys out there. Join us again in the next episode. Hopefully Justin will be here and he won't be hungover from his night of libations.
No wine with Paulo Costa for
no wine with Paulo. Wait, hold up, my guy. You didn't have nothing from Alpha queued up tonight. Shame on
man.
you. You put no respect on his name. He's coming for your head. He's
man.
Your head.
Now we're gonna do something real quick before we leave. We got to do something from Alpha. Let's see.
And for all my fans, for all the fans joining the Fight Guys podcast, I was on live with Alpha 2 nights ago. Was it 2 nights ago or was it last night?
It was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, I was on live with Alpha. I put all the respect on his name. I let them know that he is the one behind the 0 for Khabib, and that is the reason that he headed for the hills, because Alpha was on his ass. Anybody can get it anytime.
Anybody.
The man is a featherweight, and he will go up to heavyweight. His knuckles taste like tap water. His chin is made of iron. What are you gonna do with the guy?
Nothing. You can't beat this guy. I mean, he's been calling out our friends, everybody in our neighborhood. I thought about having him come beat up a couple of my neighbors that have been bothering me, man, playing loud music, man. They don't want any problems. They don't want any problems with Alpha. They don't need those problems.
Alpha, the Omega, the enforcer.
He is, man. He really is. If they just saw one of his videos, I think they'd stop bothering me, to be honest with you.
I wanted to ask you, did you see the video of John Jones? He put out a video of him hitting some pads.
No, I didn't. How'd he look?
I thought that he looked strong as hell, but then one of my boys is like, "Oh, he looks slow and like he's too big now, dude." I think he looks fucking great, man. Honestly,
that is one thing I'm worried about is his speed. Putting on that weight, but I'll check it out and we'll talk about it more on Wednesday. That's definitely a concern. Let's go over here to our boy Alpha. That is our Sunday night ritual. I didn't even think about it tonight, man. I had a lot going on. Let's see what we got here. Alpha.
Is it chicken noises?
Yep. And now he's making the lion noise.
Diesel.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And now he's making goat noises.
What a massive individual.
He is, man. Let's go and find another good video of Alpha before we go off the air. Paul, you better watch out for this guy because, man, he's the next king of MMA, man. If you don't know, now you know, buddy. Because he is the man. Let's see what we got here. The greatest fighter of all time. I like the way this sounds. Let's watch this one. I like this song that he got. I know you can't hear it, but he's got good music.
He got a little track going on.
Yep. Hey, man, that's like Rocky training in a sweatshirt on the beach.
Come on, man.
You got to be tough to wear a sweatshirt.
Apollo Creed and Rocky wish they were running in the background right now in some Daisy and belly shirts, running, gallivanting, and prancing through that water, embracing one another in a massive man hug while watching Alpha just throw hands, looking magnificent as the sun sets in the background.
Oh yeah, I may have to go to Senegal and give him a hug on one of these videos, Apollo and Rocky style. I think it'd be epic.
There's only one man. There's only one Alpha.
That's true.
One Omega, and it's the prankster, MMA.
Yep. There he is. All right, everybody. Hey, for Nico and Justin, who didn't show up, you guys be good. We'll see you Wednesday night with Mark Lobliner. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.